So I'm gonna go ahead and get into facts and opinions. Dick's Sporting Goods discontinued their rifle sales. The rifle that was actually used in the Parkland, Florida high school shooting was actually similar to the one that was used. Mm-hmm. Dick's is going to go ahead and raise their minimum age to 21 for all gun sales. Nicholas Cruz, who killed the people in the Parkland, Florida shooting, did buy a gun from Dick's, but it was not the AR-15 style gun that he had. And the CEO of Dick's, Edward Stock, had this to say. He said the hunt business is
the hunting business. That's what they always say.
Part of business, no doubt about it. And we know there will be some backlash. But he also said we don't want to be a part of this story any longer. Now, the National Shooting Sports Foundation spokesman Michael Banzit said he's disappointed in Dick's because he feel like they shouldn't have changed anything just based, off of what was going on. But another thing too, Dick's also stopped selling military-style semi-automatics after the Sandy Hook shooting in 2012. But I do also know Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops, they're going to continue their sales as normal. They're not going to stop anything that they're doing.
LL Bean and Kroger, which I had no idea they even sold guns. Kroger, they said that they're going to raise the age too. I had no idea, like I said, that they even sold guns.
Wait, Dick's?
No, LL Bean nor Kroger. And I think it's a division of Kroger. LL Bean, apparently they sell guns too. Another thing that happened, a lot of companies stopped giving NRA members discounts.
Yeah,
so there's a list of companies that stopped giving the NRA discounts. And one of the companies that stopped giving NRA discounts that caught the most backlash was Delta. Okay. Because in the Delta, they were up for a tax incentive. So they were going to get a tax break, like a fuel, like they changed the fuel tax in here in Georgia. Delta is headquartered here in Georgia. Okay. So what ended up happening is when they went to vote, Delta did not get their tax break because they stopped giving NRA members the discount, and the legislator that was, working on the tax break, they were like, oh no, they're not getting it. I don't like what they did with the NRA, which I think was the equivalent of like 300 and some odd people that were getting this discount. Like, you mean to tell me that Delta, if I was Delta, I think it equaled up to like $30 million. Like it was a big deal. Like this tax break that they were up for, it was a lot of money. And they put their morals on the line by doing what they did. But at the same time, who is this dude that told them that they couldn't get it? Y'all better vote him out of here. Like, Georgia, you're good to me. I'm not gonna lie. My family is from here. My daddy was born here. But at the same time, if y'all want to be this mega place where all these companies come from, and you want people to move here from more progressive areas and start their business here, then you're gonna have to lighten up on this old school thinking. Because I'm not moving my company somewhere that doesn't have good transportation. You need to get off that up in Cobb County. Like, you don't want the people that don't have a car to come there. You stop the train, don't even come there. The buses don't come there.
Well, even on some parts of the south side, like Henry County, they don't even have sidewalks or a transit system at all.
Come on.
And you got to think too, that ain't really, with Cobb anyway, is not really considered Atlanta. You feel me?
They're trying to make it that way.
Well, no, it is absolutely. If you go to any major metropolitan area, the downtown is where the businesses are, and the people live in the suburbs within, say, like an hour radius of the downtown area. And everyone's not going to live downtown in Atlanta. And there are some parts of Cobb County that are considered city of Atlanta. And another thing Georgia needs to, Georgia, you better pay attention to Pennsylvania too, because you know all that gerrymandering that was going on? They had to stop all that crap in Pennsylvania because they said that it was discriminatory. And you got every line, every couple of blocks where you want to draw the blocks around the folks that have money and the white folks, and you want them to be considered quote unquote county. You're not going to be able to keep doing all that type of stuff. So it's just like we have to get it together. If you want people to move here, you want to make money, you have to make it comfortable for everyone, black, white, and otherwise.
Right. But like back to what we was talking about originally. How do you feel about, like Dick's and all these other companies like changing their policies?
I don't know why it was never a policy in the first place. You can't even buy anything.
Is that really gonna make a difference?
Absolutely.
You think, because when I know, and GT, you might be able to relate to, you even might be able to relate to this. When you was under 21, did you get alcohol?
Yeah, still able to.
That's what I'm saying. So they gonna find a way to get it. Just like people, weed's not legal everywhere, but people still get weed. So that's what I think about. Like, I mean, it makes it a little tougher, but if they want to get guns, if somebody crazy and they want to do something, they gonna find a way to get it done.
Okay, but let's just not have
a lot of
anything to do
throwaways
with
in
it.
the street.
Like, let's
And I
not.
don't think guns is really the problem. Guns do kill people, but people kill people.
But you can kill more people. It's like, why do I have to kill 30 people? If I got a knife, I might kill 3, 4, 5 people.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I mean? Why am I gonna
Did y'all
help you
read this
kill
over the
30
weekend
people?
too? You remember Martin? His last name was Martin, the lineman for the Dolphins. They find him. Remember he was getting bullied by Richie Incognito. Yeah. He posted on his Twitter account. He tagged Richie Incognito and Mike Pouncey and was like, "This is the result of when you're a coward and you bully and you're bullied." So he was like, he's like 30 something now. He was like,
who
was
bullying him?
Another lineman. There was like 300 and something pounds. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these
basically it happens.
I'm
in
sorry.
football.
Can you explain this to me?
Football player.
These grown men were on Twitter.
Well, the one who got bullied was on Twitter.
And he was getting bullied on the field, and he went to Twitter.
Well, like practice, you know, when you go to practice and you in the locker room with the players, you know, y'all do little stuff to each other, but you know, he wasn't doing anything about it. You know, most people they'll say, you know, bro, tighten up, or they'll, you know what I mean, but he wasn't doing anything about it. Like,
so his next move was to get on Twitter and say, what did he say?
He was like, this is the result. He had a loaded gun with shell casings around it. He was like, this is the result of you being a coward. He was like, it's either suicide or you shoot people up or something like that. And the police like immediately went to his house. So now he's like in a rehab and things of that nature. But a lot of people were saying like, good job to the police, you know, for reacting to that, you know, as fast as they did. It was like, however, there was like the people that's out here really doing shit, really killing people, they're still out here. They was just like, I wish they would respond as fast as they did to that. You know what I mean? So exactly.
But that's what I mean.
Exactly.
You don't have to make it easier for them by saying, I'm about to drive down to the Walmart. I'm 18, and these kids at school are messing with me. Like, make it that easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be able to go through someone, but that next step that you have to take to get it might stop you. Like, I might have to ask my cousin because he's 21, and my cousin might be like, hell no, what's wrong with you, dude? You know what I mean? And stop me. Right. So I think that anything you do is gonna help. Like, yeah, you're not gonna stop people from doing crazy.
I just think straight up, like with us as black people, when we get guns, like I was saying earlier, we get throwaways. You know what I mean? Like guns that, you know, necessarily can't be traced in a sense. Like, we're not gonna go send our cousin to the store to go get us an AR-15 that he gotta register for, he gotta run a credit check for, and go kill somebody with it. We're gonna find a gun that was either illegal on the street, or a gun that does not have a trace on it. Do what we gotta do with it, and that bitch going in the water. Plain and simple.
Wow.
But this kid's gun is being tracked. Like, he's something's been off with him. He's been buying guns in like places like Dick's and stuff have been selling him guns. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't understand the kid has been, you know, there's no really excuse.
Because even with the, like, they got like the people that's shooting up, that from what I see, especially from like the guy, was it Charleston?
The church?
Yeah, the church. It's like, man, they grew up with like this type of mindset. They grew up around guns. It ain't like
they're very comfortable with them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
they're very comfortable with them.
They got access to the guns. Them shutting down I don't feel like it's regular people that's just going to the store out of anger and going to shoot up schools.
These are people like their parents had guns.
They trained. They got a mindset
right.
of playing
They probably
with
used to go hunting. Like,
they get them out the house. They gonna get a gun out the house.
This whole country, though, this is my thing, right? This whole country was built on that.
Yep.
People, it's a part of your life. It's a part of your life, especially in the South. Like, that's what you do. You hunt, you shoot shit. Like, that's how they. The difference between back then.
That's a lot of people's livelihood in the South.
A lot of people in the South still, their livelihood is based on that. But think about it. During slavery, what did they have that we didn't? Guns. So that whole don't take my guns away mentality that's inbred in these people comes from the black people gonna come take my shit. It's more of them than us now. Like, oh no, we gotta keep our guns. That's like it's been in them for generation to generation. Like, why do you need an AR-15 in 2000? When they wrote the Second Amendment, they didn't even have AR-15s and shit like that. They were just protecting their right to defend themselves and protect their property. You know what I mean? That's why they form militias. You know, exactly. It's just it's outdated. They need to revisit all that stuff. Right. But the NRA, dude, and even though when Trump said, I'm gonna start calling him Son. When Son said that they were scared of the NRA, I was like, yo, did he really just say that? It's true. Yo, these people have so much control over this country. It's ridiculous.
Didn't the NRA come out with a post saying
they did a whole bunch of shit
like,
last
this
week.
Hasn't affected us. We're gonna continue to do what we do.
Mm-hmm. Basically, they came out and they were like, we don't care. But you know what? When I really figured out that they didn't care, when those kids in Sandy Hook got killed, I was like, oh, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. A whole bunch of babies in kindergarten got shot, and they didn't care. Wow. It just blows my mind how it's just the whole mentality, and oh my goodness, they didn't care. Like, you have children, you know what I mean? And then they turned it into, and the black kids get shot, blah blah blah.
Sacrifices.
Blah, blah, blah.
Illuminati.
Man, listen. The black kids ain't going through this right now, but when it's like the people that have the control, when it's their children.
You want to know why?
They ain't screaming none of this in Chicago.
None of it in Chicago.
It's happening on the regular in Chicago.
And let me tell you, even as crazy as when y'all mentioned the Charleston thing, my family lives in Charleston. They knew most of those people that got killed.
Wow.
They knew
That's crazy.
Or knew of them from family members. So it's
so sad.
crazy. It's one thing when it's somebody that you watching on TV, but it's another thing when it's you, or it's your family, or it's a friend of your family, or something like that. Like, until stuff like that happens, they'll never understand how that feels. It's sad, but it is what it is.
Well, it's happening. You know what I mean? And they still don't care. Like, I don't know. We just have to. It's gonna work itself out, because you see all these changes that are being made, right? You see these kids are walking out of classes. They're gonna have a big old thing, I think, in the next couple of weeks, where all the kids just walk out of the class and show some sign of unity, because they're sick of being scared in school.
That's the pros of being from the hood, because not one incident like this has happened in the hood. And when these motherfuckers come tearing up the country, the hood gonna be the safe zone. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
To come to the hood now. A cab driver will not drop you off in the hood. It is not coming to the hood. Hey, in Miami, you know.
Oh, absolutely. After 6 o'clock, yeah, it's a wrap. You're not getting no pizza, no delivery, nothing. Or even in broad daylight, if it's a certain part of Miami, they not even finna deliver it. They could be down the street. They like, no, we don't deliver over there at all. It ain't happening.
Man, listen, I think they need to really just, put some sort of gun control in effect. I mean, because when those guns that are registered to these people that buy them, when they lose them or they sell them and they start just floating into the secondary market, and they end up the pawn shop, and they end up in the hood, and they end up in the street, and they end up all these other places, then they start getting into the hands of the people in the hood that, they don't care if it's registered. Those are the ones that get used and, thrown into the lake, like you said. I don't know. But there has to be some control at some level. You know what I mean?
I think it should be the type of weapons that people are able to buy. Because,
yeah, absolutely.
Like for the hunting, if you're going to buy a shotgun, okay, that's one thing. But if you're buying semi-automatic weapons off the shelf, like you buying medicine, like that's ridiculous.
For what?
For what?
What do you need that for?
There's no justification.
You just needed to show it that you
house.
have the power to do this if you really, really just want to. But if for a mentally ill person, that's the answer to a lot of problems. Because if you would kill yourself, you would kill anybody.
There you go.
Because if you notice, people that do this stuff usually end up killing themselves. But think about this: if they had done that in the beginning, we wouldn't be where we are now. So it's like you got to get it out of the people's hands like that.
Mental illness every episode.
Mental illness is so real.
Something that I talked about, like a long time ago.
Mental health is so important, man. So they're trying to make it into a mental health thing because they don't want to address the gun thing. So that's a whole nother issue. But like I said, we got the power to change a lot of this stuff if we just vote for the right people. Vote for the right people.